Riku's legs were taken below the knee by a shadow scythe. He crumpled at the penalty spot, the spectral keeper looming, timer ticking down.
No legs, no goal. You will face erasure.
My legs gone, but I still feel them. The ache is real, then something impossible. His invisible toes curled. A ghostly foot connected with the ball. It shot forward, a blur no one could track. The net rippled. The goalpost blazed gold. The scorer's name flashed on the board, Riku. But the replay showed nothing. No contact, just a ball moving on its own. I still have legs. They just aren't made of flesh. The dungeon door ground open, revealing a new floor. Eerie light spilled out, and with it, a new challenge.
Congrats. Legless wonder. But the dungeon hates loopholes. New rule. The weight of the real. Your ghost kicks won't cut it anymore. Only physical contact counts.
Riku struggled to rise. His phantom foot swung at a rock, but passed through like mist. No purchase, no power. Everything the dungeon throws at me, I'll meet it. Even if my legs are just memories. Riku dragged himself across the stone, his phantom limbs sputtering. Each attempt to touch the world only mocked him.
Pathetic. The dungeon's already bored. Maybe try crawling faster. Oh wait, you can't even do that.
A chill cut through the air. From the shadows, a translucent figure emerged. A woman missing her legs below the knee. Her eyes hollow but kind.
Your ghost goal was a fluke. The dungeon won't permit it again without a cost. But I can show you how to make your will touch the world.
Who are you? Why would you help me? Instead of answering, her phantom foot swept through a rock, and it skittered across the floor. Solid contact, the impossible made real.
I was like you once. I lost my legs to a trap, then my will to a deal. But I learned, phantom power feeds on cherished memories. Use them, and they burn away forever.
Cherished memories. Can I sacrifice something that made me who I am? He closed his eyes and reached for a memory, a sunlit field, his first coach's hand on his shoulder. The words, "You are more than your body." The phantom limb blazed. For an instant, his ghostly foot tapped a pebble. It rolled. Riku gasped. Lyra nodded. Now follow me. The real trial awaits. Lyra led him to a massive stone door, its surface etched with a single handprint that pulsed with a cold blue light.
This lock only answers to a touch that is real to both the hand and the stone. A phantom touch must be felt by the world, not just by you.
Riku pressed his phantom hand against the lock. It passed through like smoke, the door remaining cold and unmoved. The ghost goal. That moment was the most real thing I've ever felt. Maybe that memory can force the door open. He tried to summon the ghost goal, the impossible kick. The net rippling, but the memory cut deep. The agony of losing his legs washed over him, shattering his focus. The handprint flickered, but did not accept. The door remained sealed, its glow taunting him.
The ghost goal is too tangled with your trauma. Find a recent memory, something joyful but sharp. That's what the lock needs.
A familiar cackle echoed behind them. Jinx materialized on a crack in the wall, her scroll unfurling with a new menacing rule.
Stuck, are we? Here is some motivation. Open the door before this timer runs out, or the whole floor crumbles with you in it.
A timer materialized on the wall, its red digits ticking down from 60. Riku stared at the door, his phantom limb flickering with unresolved will. But Riku recalled Lyra's advice. He pushed past the ghost goal and reached for a memory untouched by pain. His coach's hand on his shoulder, the words he'd never forgotten. You are more than your body. The phantom hand flared solid blue. It pressed into the lock, and the stone recognized the weight of a promise. The door ground open, light spilling in. They lunged through as the floor behind them shattered. The timer hit 0 just as Riku's stumps cleared the darkness. Jinx materialized on the other side, clapping slowly.
Not bad for a cripple. But your ghost goal stirred something old. The spectral keeper has regenerated, and it's waiting on the next floor. It wants to test those new legs of yours. Good luck, Phantom Boy.
The keeper. Returning so soon? That's not normal. Your kick must have left a scar on the dungeon's heart.
Then it knows I am still a threat. Even without flesh, my legs will carry me to the end. Riku and Lyra entered a torchlit hub, where 3 delvers were caged behind iron bars. Their eyes held no hope, only scorn. Look, the ghost cripple crawls in. Even the dungeon pities him.
Don't listen to them. These delvers sold their compassion to survive. Their words are poison.
They're broken, just like me. But they chose to become cruel. I won't. From the largest cage, a burly delver stepped forward, muscles scarred. He pointed at Riku's stumps. Real delvers use flesh. Prove your ghost kicks can match, and you can have the key to the next floor. I accept. Put the key on the line.
Riku, no. This is a trap. They want to see you fail.
The key was placed at the edge of the cage. A weighted ball rolled to the center of the room. This is it. No more hiding. I'll make my phantom touch real, even if it costs me everything. The burly delver stepped up and kicked the weighted ball with casual ease. It rocketed into the goal, iron clanging. Riku swung his phantom leg. It connected, but without emotional charge, the ball barely rolled. A muffled thud was the only sound. The delver laughed. Is that it? Show us your secret, cripple. The others crowded the bars, their jeers echoing. Riku's leg wrappings slipped, exposing raw stumps. The room erupted in cruel, unforgiving laughter. Not like this. Not in front of them. Lyra floated forward, her form shimmering with a quiet, sad memory. Her phantom foot struck the ball solid and true. It thudded into the goal.
This dungeon takes everything. His loss isn't a joke. It's the price of surviving something you can't imagine.
The laughter died. The delvers stared silent, their scorn replaced with an uneasy quiet.
They don't understand what it costs, but you do. That's your strength.
She's right. My will isn't in my legs. It's in what I've lost. As the tension faded, Riku glanced down. His phantom limb outline had dimmed to a faint shimmer, barely visible.
Sad memories weaken you. The dungeon leeches off despair. You felt it, didn't you?
Before Riku could answer, the burly delver lunged from his cage, snatching the key from its hook. Jinx sends her regards. Cripple, this key's worth more than your life. Riku lunged forward, phantom legs pushing off the stone, but they gave way, phasing through the ground. He collapsed. No, not now. I can't lose them again.
I gave up my happy memories to survive. That's why I am just an echo now. I traded joy for an empty shell. Don't become like me, Riku.
Her words hung in the air. Kale's footsteps faded into the darkness. Without the key, the next door was beyond reach. Hold on to my joy, even if it's the only thing I have left. A portal opened, and Jinx appeared holding the stolen key. Behind her, 3 shadow players formed on the misty field.
3 penalty kicks. Riku, score past my shadow team, and the key is yours. Fail, and your phantom limbs shatter forever.
The shadow figures took their positions, featureless, but their red eyes tracked every flicker of will. First kick. Riku summoned the ghost goal memory, but the shadow snatched the ball from the air. Unimpressed. Second kick. He channeled his coach's belief. The shadow sidestepped and blocked, its mockery silent but absolute. They can read my memories. I need something they've never seen. Something I've kept even from myself.
A memory of pure joy. Riku, something no one else has ever shared. That's the only weapon they can't counter.
He closed his eyes, not to the dungeon, but to a distant memory. A child who couldn't walk, and his mother's smile when he stood. The phantom foot struck. The ball arced, weaving past the shadows, and buried itself in the net. The key dropped into his palm. The scoreboard blazed. Phantom goal acknowledged. The floor quaked. From the mist, the spectral keeper coalesced, its form more solid, eyes like burning coals.
Your phantom goal gave me a taste of your soul. Now, I will take the rest.
Its scythe arced not at Riku's flesh, but slicing through the air where the phantom limbs shimmered, a psychic rip tore through his mind. The phantom outline sputtered and died. No color, no sensation.
Gone. Even the ache is gone. I can't feel anything below my knees.
He collapsed. Stumps scraping stone, no ghostly buffer left. His body was a dead weight.
Now you are truly legless. Despair and become mine.
Lyra lunged, but her phantom hands passed through the scythe like mist. She could not intervene.
Without my phantom limbs, what am I? Just a cripple at his mercy.
He was alone in the dark, legless in body and spirit, with only the keeper's laughter echoing.
The contract is before you, Riku. Surrender your surface memories, and your phantom limbs shall return, stronger, undeniable. Accept.
Give up my memories? Those moments are the only proof I ever stood on my own 2 feet. I refuse.
Lyra drifted forward, her translucent form barely holding shape, yet her eyes burned with terrible purpose.
I made that deal long ago. I gave up my joy to survive. Let my debt finally be paid.
She raised her hands, and her own phantom limbs ignited. A blinding sacrifice. They shattered into a cascade of light. The shockwave hurled the keeper into the dark, its scythe dissolving to smoke. The embers of her sacrifice spiraled into Riku's stumps. And for the first time since the keeper's strike, a faint phantom tingle.
Not a limb, but a promise. Her will. Now mine to carry.
Kick for both of us, Riku. That's my final wish.
Her smile dissolved, and the darkness rushed back, but a tiny spark remained in his palm, pulsing like a heartbeat. Riku stared at the pulsing spark in his palm. It throbbed like a second heartbeat, pulling him toward a rift. Lyra's sacrifice left behind. With the last of his strength, he dragged his stumps across the stone and plunged through the light. He tumbled onto a field of eerie green grass. Above him, tiers of silent ghost spectators filled a colossal stadium. A single ball rested at the penalty spot. No keeper. No opponent, just the weight of 1,000 unseen eyes. The scoreboard flickered to life, its message carved in cold, luminous letters. Score, a goal seen by all. Oregon be trapped forever.
Seen by all. My phantom touch is invisible. How do I prove what only I can feel?
He swung his ghostly leg at the ball. His foot passed through like breath on glass. The stadium remained still.
This is the opposite of my first ghost goal. Then, it was seen but not real. Now it must be real and seen. Lyra's spark. It's not just a memory. It's her will made manifest. If I can pour enough belief into it, maybe.
He had no legs, no coach, no guide. But the phantom tingle remained a promise that the dead watched, and the game was far from over. Riku swung his phantom leg at the ball once more. It passed through like smoke, not a ripple on the grass. He summoned the memory of his coach, the steadying hand, the promise of strength. But the ball remained still, unseeing. He tried his mother's smile, the joy of a child's first step. The ball flickered, but the ghost crowd saw nothing. A low, grating noise rose from the stands. The ghost fans began to boo, a spectral chorus of disappointment.
Kick for both of us. Lyra's last words. I can't let her down. Not here.
He mixed the memories, layering coach and mother and ghost goal into one desperate will. The ball wobbled, then fell still. His phantom sensation began to wane, the tingle fading like a dying ember. The boos grew louder. He collapsed forward, stumps pressing into the grass, the weight of failure crushing his chest.
I failed her. I promised to carry her will, and now, there's nothing left.
He lay there, legless in body and spirit, as the ghost stadium howled its verdict. Unseen, unproven, unworthy. A flaming portal tore open midfield, and Kale crashed to the turf, bloodied and screaming.
Kale failed his deal, so I sent him here. Thought he could cheat the dungeon, but the core only wants to spare.
You! Cripple! The whole dungeon is a trap. It feeds on the despair of those who fall. We're both dead.
Kale lunged, grabbing Riku by the jersey. He intended to use him as a shield against whatever came next.
He's terrified, but saving him would burn the last of my phantom will. Lyra's sacrifice can't be for nothing.
The stadium floor rumbled. Spikes of black stone erupted in a ring around them, closing in fast.
What's happening? This place wants to grind us into mush. Do something. He's the enemy. But if I let him die, I am no better than the dungeon. Can I live with that? Lyra, what do I do?
A spike shot up directly beneath Kale, aiming to impale him.
Now, decide. Will I be a monster or something more?
Riku didn't hesitate. The memory of Lyra's sacrifice flooded his phantom limb. A rock flew, deflecting the spike inches from Kale's spine. Kale stumbled back, gasping. He was alive. The spike had missed. Riku collapsed, his phantom sensation snuffed like a candle. No tingle, no outline, nothing. He lay on the penalty spot, stumps pressed into the grass, chest heaving.
Why? Why would you save me? You could have let me die, because Lyra would have saved you. And I carry her will.
Kale said nothing. He turned and fled into the stadium shadows, leaving Riku where he lay. The ghost crowd, once howling, now fell utterly silent. The weight of his choice hung in the air.
No phantom limbs. No way to score. I've lost everything, but at least I didn't lose myself.
The penalty spot felt colder than ever. He had nothing left, but the game wasn't over. The darkness stirred, and a voice colder than the keeper's echoed directly into Riku's skull.
You have lost everything, Striker. Surrender your will to me. I will give you real legs. Walk out of this place whole.
The offer shimmered in his mind, his phantom limbs solid, boots laced, real grass underfoot.
To stand again, no more crawling. But then I remember Lyra's empty eyes, a shell, not a soul. Number. That's not survival. That's a second death. I won't trade my will for comfort.
He spoke aloud, his voice steadier than it had been since the scythe fell.
I refuse. My legs are gone. That truth I accept. But my will is mine alone.
The dungeon core's pulse quickened with rage. Light bled from the stadium, shadows devouring everything. In the absolute dark, a faint tingle sparked at his stumps. Not a memory, but a choice. Lyra's echo, rekindled by his own resolve. The phantom limb flickered back, weak as a dying star, but unmistakably there. His will made visible at last. Riku focused on that faint tingle, and it steadied. Not a flicker, but a pulse, like a heartbeat in his missing shins.
Not a memory, but the feeling itself. My first goal. The grass under my cleats, the weight of the ball, my legs alive, my phantom limbs. They're not just memories. They're the memory of my will, the part that never stopped wanting to move.
He planted his hands on the grass and pushed. For the first time since the scythe, he rose, the phantom limbs held, solid, yet weightless. He stood, not on flesh, but on the undeniable truth of his drive. The ghost crowd fell still. A sound like a held breath washed through the stands. They could see him.
I am standing on nothing but will. This is what Lyra meant.
The ball rested at the penalty spot. His phantom foot, glowing faintly, hovered just above the grass.
This kick will be seen, not as a ghost, but as truth. For Lyra, for every leg the dungeon stole.
The stadium lights flickered back, focusing on the penalty spot. The game was about to change. Riku lifted his eyes to the dark center of the stadium, pointing toward the hidden core.
This goal won't be for me. It's for Lyra, and for every leg this dungeon has stolen.
The stadium lights rotated, all beams converging on a single goalpost. It shimmered, transforming into a gateway of sickly red light. Beyond the net, the dungeon core floated in a void, black and veined with crimson. The heart of despair. From that light, the spectral keeper reformed inside the goal, its scythe coalescing, eyes burning with ancient hate.
You stand on borrowed will, Striker. But this is the last penalty you'll ever take. Score a goal seen by all, and the core shatters. Miss, and your will is mine forever.
Riku looked down at his phantom feet, glowing with the memory of every step he'd ever taken.
One kick for everything. No more ghosts.
The ghost crowd leaned forward. The stadium held its breath. The final moment had arrived. Riku closed his eyes and drew a breath that tasted like the end of everything he'd ever known. He leaned back, phantom legs coiling, every fiber of borrowed will tensing for the strike. He remembered a child scoring his first goal, not the memory, but the pure sensation of motion and joy. Lyra's smile, her final words, her sacrifice, now carried in every ghostly sinew he'd rebuilt. The sneer of Kale, the exposed stumps, the booing crowd, all of it fuel for the fire he was about to unleash. His phantom limbs blazed, shifting from blue ghostlight to fierce gold, the color of will made real. He pushed off the grass and sprinted toward the ball, the keeper's scythe a crescent of death in the net.
Strike now, Phantom. Let the core devour your empty will.
The ghost crowd leaned so far forward, the air itself seemed to crack. A sound like shattering glass. His golden foot, trailing sparks of every memory he'd ever cherished, arced toward the ball. The golden phantom foot struck the air, and a shockwave tore across the field. The ball, charged with every ounce of will, ignited, no longer a ghost but a star. It screamed toward the goal, a silver line through the darkness. The keeper swung its scythe, but the ball phased through blade and body as if they were smoke. The net rippled, not with a whisper, but with a sound like a thunderclap. Blinding white, every ghost in the stadium saw it. The silence shattered, replaced by a roar that shook the foundations. The scoreboard blazed with letters carved in gold. Goal, goal, real. Phantom acknowledged. The keeper's form cracked, light erupting from the fissure where the ball had passed. It raised its scythe in a final, silent scream, then shattered into a cascade of black shards. Riku, still standing on golden nothing, watched the darkness bloom with the light of his will. The ball blazed through the gateway, a silver comet aimed at the dungeon's heart. It struck the core. Cracks splintered across the black surface, spilling crimson and gold. The dungeon screamed, not in sound, but in a psychic shriek that clawed at every mind within. A wave of stolen wills erupted from the fissure, motes of forgotten hope swirling around the stadium. Among them, a familiar light. Lyra's echo, bright and gentle, brushed against his cheek before fading.
Thank you, Lyra. We did it, together.
Jinx materialized on a crumbling pillar, no longer mocking. She bowed her head.
The dungeon acknowledges you, Phantom Striker. A new rule has been written.
The stadium walls cracked open, and a door of pure sunlight formed where the penalty box once stood. Beyond it, green hills, real wind, a sky untouched by shadow. The path home. Riku looked down at the fading spark in his palm, then toward the light. Riku turned from the sunlit door. His phantom legs, dimming to blue, carried him not toward escape, but back to the penalty spot. He lowered himself, stumps pressing into the grass. But instead of coldness, he felt the phantom sensation of a living field.
I can feel the grass. Not with skin, but with something deeper. Lyra's gift.
The tiny spark, the last of Lyra, drifted from his palm and settled on his shoulder. A weightless memory. Riku opened his eyes. Tears traced lines through the dust on his cheeks, but he was smiling.
I still have legs. They just aren't made of flesh.
He stayed there, at the spot where he once bled, and where he now bloomed, the dungeon around him silent in respect. He didn't need to leave. Not yet. He had what he came for, proof that his will was enough. The ghost crowd had vanished, but their silence remained, a chapel built of memory and grass. For a long moment, there was only breath, and the silent weight of a promise kept. The massive dungeon gate began to close, stone grinding against stone, sealing off the sunlight. Nearby, a rule tablet flared to life, ancient letters carving themselves anew. Phantom will rules here. Riku pushed himself up on wooden crutches, the spark on his shoulder pulsing once. He turned his back on the fading daylight and limped deeper into the dungeon's core. Behind him, phantom footprints shimmered on the stone, indentations made by a will too strong to leave no trace. Each step he took, another print bloomed, a path of ghostly light in the dark. The gate sealed with a final boom, but the rule remained, etched in sacred stone. Above the door, the new law burned, a promise to every lost soul that phantom will would be recognized. Riku did not look back. The echo of his crutches faded into the corridors, where other broken delvers waited. In the silence, the footprints glowed, and a new legend began.